Hello, good morning. Thanks for joining in today. Today I'm going to make a nice bread out of spelt flour. I'm using white spelt flour. What is spelt? Spelt is a very ancient grain which was quite commonly used in Roman times and supposed to be far healthier for our gut because the gluten is slightly different than normal bread. It does contain gluten, so should not be eaten by patients who suffer from celiac disease. However, if you have only gluten intolerance, which means after eating normal bread you get a bit of bloating and tummy gripes, then this type of flour is much better for you and hopefully will give rise to less side effects from bloating, etc., as compared to normal flour. So I have taken 500 grams of white spelt flour. It is organic flour. It is slightly more expensive as compared to normal flour because it's not mass produced as other flours are. I've taken 10 grams of salt, which I'm going to put on one side of my bowl. 12 grams of instant yeast, which I'm putting on the opposite side as the salt. As you know, salt can kill the yeast. I've also taken 30 grams of soft butter. It's unsalted butter. I have got tap water, which is coolish tap water. I have dissolved about a tablespoonful of honey in it, which is being dissolved. And I'm going to start adding this slowly. Now, because the gluten content is slightly less as compared to normal flour, the kneading will take a wee bit longer, will take about 10 minutes to do. So I'm using electric mixer with a dough hook. So as it's mixing, keep adding a bit of water as you go along. You might need a bit more than 300 ml, you might need a bit less than 300 ml. But in the end, you want a soft silky dough, you don't want a very soggy dough. And you want all the dry flour to be picked up from the side of the bowl. We're going to run it on medium speed. So keep scraping the flour from the side so it mixes evenly throughout. I have used almost 300 ml already. Still a bit to go. I've been kneading it for about 6 minutes now. So it's been kneading for about 8 minutes and the consistency is quite good. You can see the dough, what it looks like, nice, soft and silky. Now into this dough, I'm going to add 40 grams of toasted sliced almonds. And I'm also adding 100 grams of sultanas. You can use other fruit as well, like peels, you can use raisins, you can use dried apricots, but these are the two I have chosen today. The reason I've chosen toasted almonds because the dough itself and the bread itself has got a very nutty flavor, and the almonds just enhance that flavor into making it a bit more nuttier. So far I have used about 250 ml of water with honey, and I think I probably won't need any more. So we're going to knead it for another 2 minutes on again medium speed until the fruit is completely mixed in the dough. So the dough has been kneading for about 11 minutes now. And so 2 minutes with the fruit in it, and it looks nice consistency, soft, silky, but not soggy, and very, very smooth. As you can see, it's very smooth with fruit in there. And I have got another bowl in which I have lined with olive oil. I'm going to leave the dough in there to rise for between 1 and 2 hours until it's twice the size what it is at present. I'm going to cover it with a tea towel, and I shall see you in an hour or two. Hi, welcome back. So my dough been proving for about hour and a half. It's almost 3 times the size it was. To get the best texture and best taste out of any bread, prove it for long enough and longer you prove it, better it is, and knead it quite well. So next thing we are going to do is I'm going to put some flour on my work surface, get the dough on it. So just roll it in until all the air is knocked out. Now the white spelt flour has this tendency to spread, so I'm going to use a bread tin, which is a 2 pound or 1 kilogram bread tin. It's a large bread tin. I've lined it with olive oil, and I'm going to use this for my final proving and baking. So going to spread, all the air is out. Fold the two ends in, and the top in as well. Same at the bottom. Because I'm baking it in a bread tin, not too fussed about the shape, because shape will come with the bread tin. Put in the bread tin, sprinkle a bit more flour on top, and I'm going to put this into a plastic bag. And I'm going to let this prove for another 1 hour, a bit more, just enough for the dough to be twice the size or a bit more than what it is at present. So I'll see you then. So my bread been proving for about an hour and a half, just over. It's 3 times the size it was before. I'm going to sprinkle some flour on top, and I'm going to score the surface because it gives it a better crust and a better bake. So I'm going to make a few cuts across. You can use a bread knife. Since it's in a bread tin, it's difficult to use a bread knife in a bread tin. So I'm just using an ordinary blade. So that's cut. My oven been preheating at 230 degrees centigrade. I've got a fan oven. If you have a non-fan oven, then use 250 degrees centigrade to start, or 475 degrees Fahrenheit, which is between gas mark 9 and gas mark 10. I got a baking tray over here, which I'm going to fill up with boiling hot water from a kettle, and I'm going to put it in the bottom of my oven for about 5-10 minutes and leave it there before I put my dough in. So this will go at the bottom. It's going to moisturize the oven so the bread bake is not very dry. I'm going to first bake the bread at 230 degrees fan oven for 10 minutes, and after that I'm going to turn the heat down to 200 degrees centigrade, which on a non-fan oven will be 220 degrees centigrade. Fahrenheit will be 425, or gas mark 7. And the further bake I will do on lower temperature will be another 20 minutes. So total bake time will be 30 minutes. So my oven is ready now, and I'm going to put this in for 10 minutes at high temperature. The reason for high temperature is you get a nice dark, very rusty looking crust, which will look nice, and then lower temperatures so it bakes through and through and there is no raw bits in the middle of the bread. So this will go in for 10 minutes. And I shall see you in 10 minutes. So my bread been baking for about 10 minutes at 230 degrees centigrade. I'm going to bring the temperature down to 200 now and let it bake for further 20 minutes. I'll see you then. So there we are. I've taken the bread out after exactly half an hour, and let's check it. Sounds hollow at the top, sounds hollow at the bottom. I was hoping a bit darker crust, and perhaps for the first high temperature bake. I could have left it for 15 minutes rather than 10 minutes. So 15 minutes on high temperature bake, and 15 minutes on lower temperature bake. Try it. Hopefully it'll be a bit darker, but I think it looks okay. So I'll leave it for 20 minutes to half an hour to cool down, then we'll have a taste of it. So bread has been cooling for about half an hour. It's quite cool now. Feels lovely. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, texture is good. Baked all the way through. Crust is beautiful. Crust is very nice. It's beautiful and nutty. Very nice, very light bread. Very light texture. Really, really nice. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you try this bread. It's really good. It's good for you, and also lovely fun baking it as well. So until next time, I'll see you soon. Take care. Thanks for watching.